So it's hard to be black when you're ethnically ambiguous. But what's not hard is to hear the questions, what are you? Or where are you from? A lot. Now for me, the answer is kind of complicated. It goes a little something like this. So my dad's from Cape Verde. That's an island off the coast of Africa. Nice. I never hear that. But he grew up in Cape Cod, that's in Massachusetts. My mom is Jewish, she's from New Jersey. She didn't like being a Jew from New Jersey, so she moved to Boston, met my dad and me and my sister. We're all Baha'is. I know it's a little confusing because I just said I was Jewish. Culturally, we're Jewish. Religiously, we're Baha'is. It's a faith about unity. You should look it up sometime. But I am black. Now, growing up, I didn't always love being black because all my friends were white, and I didn't know. Growing up, I didn't like being black because all my friends were white, and I didn't like being different. So let me give you an example. In 7th grade, I wasn't invited to Amy McCarthy's birthday party. So all my friends were. So what do you do when you're in middle school and you're not invited to a birthday party that all your friends are? You cry in the bathroom, which is where my dad found me. PJ, why are you crying? I'm not crying. PJ, why are you crying? I wasn't invited to a birthday party. Whose birthday party? Amy McCarthy. Who's that? You don't care. You're right, I don't. Who was invited? I told him. Huh, there's no black kids on that list. Jane, get the school director. We were calling this Amy McCarthy's parents and getting PJ invited to this racist birthday party. Now, first of all, I didn't know that being black was a reason that you could not be invited to something. This is hard to hear as a young kid. At the same time, I had to stop my dad right there because I wasn't about to be the first kid invited to a birthday party via affirmative action. But the lesson was clear. Race matters, and being black can have real negative implications in your life. Now, at the same time, I really wanted to be black because my dad loves being black. And he loves his black friends. I always knew when they would call. Hello, it's Kevin Andrews. Nasif, man, I looked at a piece of dog shit today and thought of you. What you calling me for? And he loves black culture, so Saturday morning cleanups, long car rides, we're listening to Luther Vandross, Quincy Jones, Anita Baker, and I think we owned every single book with the word black in the title. And he loves seeing black people succeed, so he opened a charter school in Dorchester that's a black neighborhood in Boston with the express purpose of bringing quality education to the kids in that neighborhood who wouldn't necessarily otherwise have one, and the slogan of the school is Succeed Anywhere. Now, I wanted to be black, but I didn't know how to be because, like I said, all my friends were white. When I got to high school, there were a lot more black kids around, but they were busting from Boston, and so they didn't intermingle with my white friends. So I had this awkward tension where, on the one hand, I didn't want to alienate my white friends by reaching out to the black crowd. But on the other hand, I didn't feel like I knew how to be black, so I didn't know how to reach out to the black kids. In hindsight, I probably could have just said, "Hi, my name is PJ," but it's another story. Now, when I got to college, I came to a new realization, that I was Indian. I found this out because I was talking to my friends, and he was like, yeah, so I was talking to this girl, and she was like, hey, that PJ guy, is he Indian? And I was like, that's funny, why would she ask that? Dude, everyone thinks you're Indian. Turns out, I look really Indian. Now, growing up, I didn't have this problem because everybody knew my dad, so they knew I was black. In college, nobody knew this about me, so they didn't have this information, so I'm just some Indian kid walking around campus. So while I'm dealing with my newly found Indian identity, I'm also embracing my blackness for the first time. So what does it look like when you embrace your blackness in college? You enroll in all the race studies courses, you move into the Africana Center, and you start doing spoken word poetry. I did all three of those things. And I went to Africa. What? So I studied abroad in Ghana. When I got there, I found out that not only was I not black, I wasn't even Indian. I was white. My childhood self would be so happy, but my college self was trying really hard to be black, so this wasn't welcome news. I found this out because I was walking across the quad and I hear some guy call out, hey, white man. So I look around for the white man and then realize he's looking right at me. He says it again like I'm an idiot. Hey, white man. Come here, I have some toilet paper and peanuts for you. So I get mad, I'm like, dude, look at my skin, I am black. Now, unfortunately, I chose to pick this battle with a guy that makes Wesley Snipes look pale. So he comes up to me with a dumbfounded look on his face, and he puts his arm next to mine just like this. He points to my arm, and he says, white. Then he points to his arm, and he says, black. And I'm like, dude, fine, whatever. I'm white. I give up. Now, every year, my dad goes to something called the Black Men's Gathering. The Black Men's Gathering takes place in Maine, of all places. And it's a week in July. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a space where men of African descent can learn how to be spiritual beings in a world that's not so kind to black men. Now, my dad had wanted me to go to the Black Men's Gathering for many years, but it wasn't him that got me to go. It was his very, very good friend, Patrick. Now, Patrick is black. He's from Detroit, and he's seen it all. And just to give you a sense of what I mean by seen it all, one time my dad said, PJ, ask Patrick if he's ever been shot. So I did, and he told me about the time he was stood up at an ATM. This fool gonna come up to me and talking about, give me your money. I said, motherfucker, you gonna have to shoot me to get my money. And the motherfucker shot me. And he took my money. Now you know. So Patrick is also one of the most loving, kind-hearted, deep and insightful souls I've ever met. Every time he sees me, he tells me he loves me, and he gives me a hug and a kiss on the cheek, seriously. The first time I met Patrick was, he took me out to lunch, and I was expressing to him my hesitations about going to the Black Men's Gathering. You know, Patrick, I just don't feel black enough, and I don't really feel spiritual, and I just look at my dad, and I look at Uncle Gene and Uncle Billy, and I can't live up to that. Boy, fuck your father, fuck Gene, and motherfucker fuck Billy too. So apparently that's exactly what I needed to hear, because I went to the Black Men's Gathering. And over the course of the week, I was literally and figuratively embraced by a sea of black men whose confidence, whose tranquility, and whose assurance shone like the sun. Some were black like Patrick, some were black like me, some weren't like either of us, but that didn't matter. What mattered was that we loved each other and we supported each other to become the best human being that we could be, whoever that was. I remember one day in one of our sessions, I looked around at this group of radiant black men, these powerful souls, all different, all unique, but all united. And I recalled Patrick's eloquent words and realized that I had finally broken free from the need to learn how to be black. And for the first time in my life, I just was. Thank you.